howdy, cadre. That surprised me. Surprised me into ending the episode, I guess. In the last episode of Greenfield, we were talking about hippie-mo. And I think, oh, that's cool, it grew over a bit. Why'd you grow over a bit? I like that. I'm glad somebody did that. That's cool. Way to grow over a bit. It's probably going to break because it's not connected. Unless it's grown through. Anyways. Yeah, I think I was done talking about marijuana. That's probably good. It was just one aspect of hippies. You know, probably the key aspect of hippieism that I think ties together all the various aspects I was talking about. Creativity, free love, anti-war, anti-hate, anti-fascism, anti-racism. There's a lot of aspects that kind of tie together. In hippieism in general. And yeah, just coming together kind of encapsulates some of that. But what I was going to say is questioning what you've been taught. Certainly questioning authority, but also, in a bigger sense, questioning society. Questioning perceptions. Oh, that's a fence there. I can't easily just jump over, so let's break it. Oops, moved too quick. Okay, I'm breaking the fence. Never hurt anybody. Yeah, so yeah, counterculture to an extent, but it's interesting because hippieism is a subculture, and there's kind of a phenomenon where subcultures can start out as counterculture. This is true of like punk as well. But over time they can become accepted as alright, breaking more. They can become accepted as a subculture, as a part of culture, but different from culture. Half doors? Don't know why that happens. And yeah, so a counterculture movement. It sounded like a minecart. It was. Okay, it was many minecarts. Yeah, counterculture movement can become a subculture, and that's true of hippieism. That it becomes like a style. It changes from like a countercultural philosophy to a subculture style in a way. And that's what I was trying to get to with my last episode was there's a tendency for culture as a whole to shift it from being like a philosophy to being an appearance. It's an externalization of ideas, and in a way, it's a shifting of meaning from inside to outside, which is to say, a counterculture starts out defined by the people trying to counter culture. It starts out as philosophy, a reason to change things from the norm. But over time, the meaning gets adapted, adopted, and used by the mainstream parts of the culture. You know, I don't know who coined the term hippie. I guess I don't know the history of the term well enough. But certainly the hippies were using it. But it may have been mainstream media that popularized it. Ow, I didn't see it there. Oh, there's a bunch of you. I'm going the wrong way completely. Can I do that? Nope. Nope, don't want to do that anyway. Scarier things on the other side. There we go. Yeah, I guess I just kind of had a revelation for myself. That's good. That this externalization of meaning, this shift from stuff inside your brain to the way you look, is kind of a natural progression of the word being used by the people in the movement to the word being adopted by people outside, in the mainstream, outside of the movement. And so as it shifts from being used in a countercultural way, it becomes understood, known, and accepted as a subculture. Once it's, kind of... Oh. Yep. Okay. Save the pixels. They're sprites. Sorry, sprites. Save the sprites. Oh, there's another one. Yep. Oh, that's a tree I gotta fix. If I care. Oh. Jeez. We got some action for you, bots. I should start just referring to you guys as bots, because that's what most of you are at this point. I guess I could put my shield on. That might help a bit. Guess I need to shift some things into my box. Silly things I've picked up. Too many silly things I picked up. Da. I guess I'll stash that too. Getting everything. I don't need all this stuff. This is dark spruce. I don't know if this is spruce. Nope, it's oak. I was assuming it was oak. But I only have 2 oak. Okay, dirt. Looks more natural than the other options. Alright, I'm not overly concerned about the big booms, but I want that tree to be healthy. That's a living Minecraft entity or something. Okay. There's, yeah, I'm hungry. Boy, alright, it's dangerous at night. So yeah, with hippies, there was a shift in meaning from the kind of philosophical elements I was trying to talk about and summarize to just appearance elements. And I think that's kind of a natural progression as the language gets shifted from the group that creates it to society as a whole. That, you know, these people got together to celebrate art and difference and creativity and to protest violence and racism and sexism and authoritarianism and all sorts of stuff. But then, you know, America as a whole sees them and so in that transition of who's using the language, there's a natural shift from talking about philosophy to talking about appearance. And I mentioned punk. Punk is kind of similar in that way. And I learned about this in college. Actually, it was a class called The History of Rebellion in Art. And there was a pretty big focus on Japan, how art helped Japan rebel against traditional... I'm having trouble telling which way I'm going. Is it north? Dodge and weave. It's east, isn't it? It's east. Okay. But anyways, early in the class, there was a focus on the punk movement, which is in some ways similar to the hippie phenomenon, which is why I brought it up and I'm relating it. But one aspect that was focused on was the safety pin through the nose or ear. You know, safety pin as a piercing. That was a very... Oh, that's another fence. That was a very powerful and simple symbol because, and this was focused on England. At the time, the safety pin was a very domestic symbol. It was associated with... cool. it was associated with domestic life, motherhood, normality, because its primary use was diapers. It was kind of the brilliant and primary function of it, because before that, with cloth diapers, this was before disposable diapers were around. With cloth diapers, you'd have, that goes down. You wouldn't really want to use straight pins because you had a risk of poking yourself, or of course worse, the baby getting poked. And so the safety pin was this great invention that made children and mothers safer. So it was a symbol of it was a symbol of safety and normality, and like I said, it is very domestic related. So using it as a piercing, like an ear ring, or even more so a nose ring, was very counterculture, because you're taking a symbol, a functional, you're ignoring the normal function, and you're turning the symbolism on its head. That instead of being related to normality and domesticity and motherhood, you're sticking it through your flesh and turning it into a symbol of like violence and strangeness, bizarreness. Yeah. So very, very counterculture, very punk. But even that, once society understands it, it becomes part of a subculture. You just label that as punk, and then it's understood by the mainstream. I think I finished this. Nope. Northwest corner. Yeah, but I was going to talk about emo, which in a way is, it's interesting, because it's kind of like a convergence of punk and goth. Really, these could be seen as just different iterations. And all of these started out as countercultural and then became a subculture, at least from my perspective, in my opinion. And goth, might have started out as philosophically nihilistic, or just all focused on death or meaninglessness, or I don't know. For some people, it's just aesthetic. That you look good in black. And really, there were artists that just saw it as minimalistic. If my whole wardrobe is black, then I don't have to plan an outfit, match certain tops with certain bottoms, and color coordinate. And for some artists, you know, like, it's just, that's not how I want to express myself. Again, minimalism, that if my clothing is just kind of a blank canvas, just pure black, then I can be expressive with my voice and my face and keep the focus on that. Or you know, my creativity is saved for my work. And it just saves me time in the morning or whatever. Frees up more time for me to create my art. But anyways, obviously goth is bigger than that and more focused on the idea of mortality or nihilism rather than just minimalism. Alright, now I think I'm done. Great. So I guess I can look for a bus stop. So south is this way. I guess I'll just go south until I see a bus stop. Yeah, goth, and then, so yeah, I think there's similarities between punk and goth, and similarities with hippie, but of course hippie we think of as colorful. And it's a different kind of counterculture too, which I've been trying to explain as I go. But emo, yeah, emo is different, and it's not as purely dark. And it's in a way associated with youth. Really, all of these things were associated with youth at one point. You know, we have old hippies now, but when the movement started, it was mostly teenagers and 20-somethings. There's a lot of old hippies now, but, you know, and punk, maybe punk was seen as just a phase for longer, because there might have been a lot of people who, I mean, in some ways it's just like, how quick can you abandon it? You know, punk was a lot about how you dressed, whereas hippieism is more about, you know, long hair. I guess it's also how you dress quite a bit. The association with tie-dye and other things. It's funny because when I think hippie, I also think of like leather vests with tassels. But I think anymore, like now, I think a lot of hippies avoid leather because I think it's more associated with the vegetarian and vegan and animal rights than it was originally. Anyways, emo. So maybe I think of emo being associated with youth because it's a newer movement. So there haven't been as many emos that have grown up. And again, you can escape any of this, or you can escape being perceived as any of this by dressing differently. But emo, I guess emo is trickier because it comes from term emotional. And so is it as much a philosophy as just a attitude almost? And it may be one that you more naturally grow out of, because certainly the teenage years are a very emotional time, and so it's most natural for now. See, that's weird. It's more natural for teenagers to be emotional, but it's also more common to perceive teenagers as emotional. So there's some tension between self-identification and labeling. Like who's doing the labeling? Are you adopting the label yourself, or is somebody else labeling you? And all of those movements will have a progression from you missed. Oh, you didn't miss me. You got me. You got me again. I can't run while I'm slowed and poisoned. Yeah, it's amazing how there's so much to think about if you're willing to think. I was just trying to explain the word hip emo that one of my coworkers and I came up with. I had long hair, and she had a tendency to call me hippie or emo, and both of those made me a little bit uncomfortable. And it may be because of the way she used them, or the context, the timing, the meaning she was putting into it. I don't really identify with the term emo. Except that I really like a lot of music that's associated with that, especially like 80s and 90s music. I'm not a huge fan of like Nine Inch Nails, but that was really popular when I was in high school. I didn't like. I was hardly aware of. What's the one I really like now? At least their most popular album. God, I'm blocking it out. That's gonna really bother me. They have one of the most famous album covers. I'm gonna have to tab over and look it up, aren't I? It's dangerous to tab over in the dark. This feels safe enough. Okay. how am I going to find this? When I can't remember the name of the band. Joy Division. And I found it through Teletubbies. Ridiculous. I remembered that there was a... yeah, on YouTube, like 10 years ago or more, I had found a dark edit of Teletubbies that used a Joy Division song. The album cover I was thinking of, let me find the name of the album. Joy Division. Unknown Pleasures has an album cover that was taken from, let me see. It was taken from a data plot of radio signals from a pulsar? Is that what I just read? It was an enigma for a while. Yeah, a stacked plot of radio emissions given out by a pulsar, a rotating neutron star. It was an enigma for a while because people didn't know, like, was it a heartbeat? Was it like the waveforms of sound? I've seen a meme with Worf, the Klingon from Star Trek, with his forehead being those lines. Anyways, it's one of the most famous emo shirts, and it's a very emo band in part because the lead singer committed suicide. But more importantly, because it's very emotional music. Did I get facing east? Yep. It's not going to take me home. So the Smiths is another one. I really like the Smiths. But Joy Division I didn't discover until later in my life. And I've really only listened to that one album. Ow. I can manage that. Let's try and hit, yep. So anyways, but yeah, she may have called me emo because of the music I listened to. Because I do really like dream pop and like new wave and different electronic stuff, synth. So she may have called me emo primarily because of my music tastes, and she may have called me hippie because of my appearance at the time. I had the long hair. Some of you old eyeballers might have memory of me with long hair. It's certainly possible. Oh, now I need to go this way. So anyways, but there was one day when she called me hip emo, kind of on accident, but we both found it very funny, and the reason I'm even talking about it, 2 of you, and a chicken rider, what the heck is going on? Ah, for the love of goddess. And I see you too, Creeper. Oh, thank you for the assist. Oh, chicken. You gave me chicken. Wow. It's morning. Wow, I'm not used to the chicken riders. I don't see them very often. That's some crazy time. Good stuff. Hip emo. Yeah, and it's kind of ironic because I always felt kind of uncomfortable with her calling me those things because I'm aware of how in modern popular culture those are both usually negatives. Like most people who use them in modern times are trying to degrade you. You know, emo, they're saying, oh, you're so emotional, or out of touch, or inside yourself, or your own head, or your own emotions. And with hippie, it's usually them just referring to your long hair. I had long hair. Well, I still have long nails. They're shorter in general now, but we made it home. We got another map. I need more maps to copy it, but well, I can make more maps, right? I got the paper. We have the technology. Yeah, I'll put my iron away for now. Hey, there's a feather. Compass. Did I make a lot of compasses? I don't know. I can make another compass. Let's make a few compasses. Need iron for that. So anyways, I started thinking about hip emo, and in combining those 2 words, I felt like it fit me a lot better. And maybe that's just because suddenly I was defining the philosophy. It wasn't external. Oh, I don't want to make all of those maps. I think I want to keep a compass. I think I made that mistake last time. Okay, so then I can... This is the right map, right? Been using it. Nope. How did I get that wrong? Okay. So can I just make 2 copies right from the get-go? Yep. 3 copies of the map. One goes behind glass. I need the table for that. I did not bring it up. Okay. Yeah, so hip emo, the way I defined it in my head, oh, went too far. Yeah, the way I thought about it in my head is that hippies care about the world and all the people. And emos are caught up in their emotions. Oh, I came for this. So, what's a hip emo? Someone who's caught up. Those won't stack, right? No, they just transfer. Okay. So what's a hip emo? But somebody who's caught up in the emotions of the world, or someone who cares about the emotions of the world. So that's not what I wanted to do at all. How do you tell that's locked? Isn't there a visible difference? I thought the edge changed or something. I guess you can't tell except by hovering. Anyway, nice. Cool. Well, I guess we can go west or east if we're continuing. Where have I stored my other map? Must be downstairs. Yeah, so I felt like it hit home for me because I did it again. This is a problem I have, is that I feel like I'm pretty. No, I still don't see it here. I don't see it here. I feel like I'm pretty well in control of my own emotions, but I get wrapped up. Oops. Ouch. Wow, that was half my life. That's why these darn things are dangerous, these elevator shafts. It's not just in soap operas. Well, what have I done to lose my map? I thought I had a third map. I thought for sure. There's a chance it's in my orange shulker box that I left by one of the portals. Well, I think I'm going to put this one in here. And maybe I'll copy this other one. Yeah, I'm going to make one more. Let's make more compasses. And then I may have a extra copy floating around, but at least I know I got those stored in there, and I got copies on the wall, and I got copies I can carry. And there's always somebody making noise. And I'd never know where. They can't be on the roof because it's day. Oh, they could be inside. Hey, guy. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want the insides blown up. Okay. Was that? Nope. Okay. I'm still hearing somebody. I don't know. Is it just one floor down? I thought I had lit this well enough. I don't have anything in here, right? I think I've checked this. Pretty sure I've checked this. So yeah, I guess it's because I consider myself a student of the world and a lover of humanity, student of humanity. That I really do get caught up in current affairs and cultural changes and phenomenon, and thinking about philosophy and information and new information changes in the world. Well, I can sleep thanks to that. So yeah, hip emo, the way I defined it for myself and as applies to myself is that yeah, it's somebody that feels, yeah, I know you guys are loud, that feels the problems of the world as if they're personal. Gets caught up, wrapped up. Yeah, where are you guys? You're so annoying. You can't be 2 floors down, can you? Maybe it's one of these rooms isn't lit well enough. So yeah, that was all like a 3-episode rant. No, been in there, been through there several times. About me having trouble sleeping. We've covered a lot of topics as part of that rant with the way my mind works and distractions. I don't know if I've been in here. Maybe just briefly. Yeah, no, been through all those. Never did find the source of the noise. But yeah, so 2020, this has been one of the big reasons I haven't slept well this year is just with all this stuff. I mean, like January, I guess it was not so bad because, you know, cold and what was in the news? The wildfires in Australia? I think that was, you know, not too hard for me to wrap my head around and distant enough that it didn't seem too personal, but there's a hidden room here, isn't there? That's been my problem this whole time. There's a dark, hidden room right above where I sleep. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be able to sleep so much better now. Well, that doesn't help me, Earl. I could expand up here. This would be a good... Okay, thanks. This would be a good storage area. I guess I don't need it immediately, but part of what was bugging me in this room is that this is a pretty nice room, but I don't want to I don't really want to rip up their furniture and stuff too much. But if I had a ladder going up, can I just extend my current ladder, or... Is that too close? Rails. Let's make some ladders. Wow, another long episode because they just keep talking, huh? Oh, it's gotta be sticks. That's way too many sticks. 40 maybe? That's way more than I need, but whatever. We'll stash them, use them eventually. Okay, no, that'll do. That will do. If I go... Oh, I gotta go both directions, huh? One more. Okay. Cool. Cool. Excellent. Nice. So, yeah, what does that accomplish? Put a lot more storage up there. Yeah, actually, I think I'd like the idea of another box here. For symmetry, actually, no, I want more workstations, so maybe I'll put those there. Down a level. Down a level. Great, now I'm hearing a skeleton, so I haven't solved all my problems. And I just got a text message at 11:20? The heck is that about? I'll have to see who that is. But yeah, I'll take these upstairs. Well, that one looks like it's part of that. I'll leave that one. I gotta check the text message. I'm really curious who's texting me 11:20 on a Friday night. It might be my best friend. Seems unlikely, but I can't imagine who else it would be. Somebody else having trouble sleeping? Don't normally have partiers texting me on Friday nights. Some deep storage potential. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, hip emo. It's one of the reasons I can't sleep is that I just, especially when there's a lot of news and social unrest and political drama and yeah, we've just had all sorts of that stuff overlapping and going crazy in 2020, and I can't sleep, and then I got personal drama too with my landlord. So, but yeah, I've managed to put that off for another day, both in Minecraft and Earl. Insert catchphrase here.